This is Carita with Bowie Television at the Under Armour Performance Center. The holidays are upon us, but the Baltimore Ravens will be on the road in San Francisco as they are gearing up for their matchup against the San Francisco 49ers on Christmas night. It is a big game. There's a lot of hype around this game. When asked if this could be a preview of the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson said this is December. The Super Bowl's in February, so clearly he's not looking that far ahead. Humphrey said that he thinks that this game could be considered the game of the year. This is a rare time where the Ravens are going into a matchup as the underdogs, but there's two sides to a reaction to that. On one end, there's Lamar Jackson, who said he doesn't like when they're picked anyway, so he's okay going in as underdogs. He likes to kind of fly under the radar. But Kyle Hamilton, he said it's a little disrespectful that they're considered underdogs at this point because the 11-3s are not created equal right now. Either way it goes, they understand that the 49ers defense is going to present some problems, but the Ravens, they feel like they have a good defense of their own. Additionally, there's a lot of talk about Brock Purdy. He's a game manager, system quarterback, etc. But the Ravens aren't buying into that either. They said that he's a good quarterback and they are not taking him lightly. So it all comes down to Sunday. One team won't be 11-3 anymore. So the Ravens are hoping that they are the ones who move up one more notch. This is Carita with Bowie Television. Be sure to tune in to us for all of your Ravens content.
A very worthy opponent. Big challenge for us. Guys are working hard. We're excited. What questions do you have?
John, this is only like the second time you guys have actually been not favorites and been underdogs. Will that be used in any of the messaging this week with you?
It was mentioned. Sure.
Coach, just admitted BK has a sack in 11 straight games, ties the NFL record. Teams are obviously watching a lot of film on him. How's he still able to be so productive? Is it adjustments or is it about physical people?
Well, he's doing great. He's just playing really well, Todd. I mean, that's probably the main thing. He's playing at a high level. He's pretty relentless, but also probably have to say, to your point, he's got a lot of guys playing around him really well too. So those guys kind of feed off each other, protect one another, create opportunities for one another.
John, obviously, injury occasion, all the guys behind you have experience, guys who lead out and used and played well. Curious though how things change, I guess, from a running game perspective, if at all, in terms of play calling, scheme, deep and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, we're going to run our offense. I mean, it'll be our offense with the guys we have. The plays that he was running, the other guys can run, and everybody puts their own fingerprint on the play. The play looks the way it does a lot of times because the guy is running it. That's really the personality of a play. Everybody runs very similar plays, but not all of them look the same. So the guys running it will put their flair onto it and do that. And obviously we're going to miss Keith. He's a great player, great guy, one of the young guys. Kind of a revelation. And he'll continue to be that when he comes back. And the other guys will get their chance and they'll go get the job done.
John, when it comes to Brock Purdy, it seems like a lot of people have different opinions when it comes to the type of player he is. What do you see when you watch him on film, and what's it been like kind of game planning to try to stop him?
Right. Well, Brock Purdy, I see a really, really very good quarterback who's playing at a very high level, leading a very high level offense to great success. I mean, he's playing winning football, and operates in his style. He sees things, he gets the ball quick. He's got a He can make every throw. He throws a beautiful ball, moves around in the pocket, scrambles when he needs to, throws on a run when he needs to, operates the system really well. I mean, all the things that I'm sure their coaches really want to see in the quarterback, I'm sure he's doing really well. So for us, it's just a matter of defending the offense. He's a part of the offense. They have a lot of good players. They have a really good scheme. So applying our defense and our players, our abilities, and physicality and all the other things we do to trying to stop their offense.
John, you talked about their 4 all-pro caliber playmakers on Monday, and kind of each one of those guys is, a different kind of threat. I mean, given that, how helpful is it to have a guy like Kyle who can be kind of a different kind of defender on each series if you need him to?
Well, we feel like we match up well against anybody, but basically, and we like our players a lot. We think we have really, really excellent players, the highest level players. It's going to be hard for us not to match up well. It's going to be hard to outmatch us. I don't care who you are. So we like our matchups. I'm sure they like ours, and we're going to play on Monday night.
Coach, when you look at the film through the games, and despite the record, do you feel like you guys have played your best game yet, or is that still?
No, I don't think we have played our best game yet. For sure we haven't played our best game yet. That's something you work for. We talk about it all the time. We try to improve all the time. And we had a really good practice today, so we'll continue to try to do that and put our best game in front of us.
John,
Could this be one of those throwback games with 2 strong running games and being very physical in the trenches?
Well, it's probably an interesting term. I think that's always going to be football. Mike, it's always going to be about that at the end of the day. So, yes, probably. It's going to be that kind of game for sure. It's going to be, you got 2 strong defenses, you got strong offensive lines, strong running games. You got playmakers really on every side also. You got strong special teams. All these things come into play in a game like that.
John, Lamar has this pretty 19-1 record against the NFC. Do you kind of feel that there's sort of an adjustment period that for teams that don't regularly see kind of Lamar and your style of offense?
Right. I don't know. It's a good question for the teams over there. So it's a good record. Hope it's 20-1 for this game.
John, we've seen Lamar develop and mature, and I think you talked about just how well he's managing the game. What goes into being a good game manager? And I guess, is there anything that he does that you think he doesn't get enough credit for?
Well, yeah, I think that. To me, we talk about it quite a bit here. You guys have heard me talk about it a lot. He operates the huddle at the line, his clock management, his ability to work the play clock with the motion, the play call. Even when we were running late, like early in the game, we didn't have our helmet, and it was operating with T, basically signaling the signals, like with sign language. They didn't know Lamar knew sign. They have their own sign language, I guess. And they were able to get those plays in there before we could get the helmet. And Lamar still, kept it smooth. It operated without any real panic. He's got a real flair for being, calm in those kind of situations.
Touch on this in different ways, but what's the toughest challenge that San Francisco presents for you guys?
If I said one, I would be. How could I even pick one? There's so many. That's a really good football team, and they challenge you in multiple different ways. So I really couldn't pick one.
John, we didn't see Zay out there. Is there any concern about his status?
No.
What's on the John Harbaugh Christmas wish list?
Well, life is always better when you win, right? So that's probably the number one thing that we're all going to try to accomplish out there. But I would say, if you're asking if anybody really cares, I would just say that we all, really try to remember, that the Advent message, and the idea that there are great and amazing, incredible things going on, and just the very fact that we have life, and the very fact that we have something beyond that, that is eternal, and that we're all here together for a reason, to live together, in peace. That's what I would say. Let's try to get along. Let's try to get along for a week. See if we can pull that off. That'd be nice. So, but I guess that would be it, and a win. Those 2 things.
Kind of piggybacking.
World peace and a win.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not sure in that order.
kind of piggybacking off of that, just being on the road on Christmas, is there any kind of special thing that you do with the team on Christmas morning, or how do you handle that as a team and a coach?
No, we just get ready for the game. I wish we had some clever thing. We'll probably have some turkey and ham probably for the pregame meal, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. But no. Football. It's all football.
All right.
Good. Thank you.
Lamar, when you watch the Niners, obviously they've got studs all across the defense, but what do you see when you watch the film of that defense?
Guys are flying around, making splash plays, making things happen on defense, scoring touchdowns on defense. I'm seeing a lot.
What's the biggest challenge that you see when watching the film, like in terms of what they present to you?
On the defensive line, pushing the pocket, linebackers flying all across the field, making tackles, DBs playing fundamental sound football.
Lamar, John was telling us about how you guys had some helmet difficulties on that first snap.
Yeah.
On that first drive Sunday against Jacksonville. How was that experience for you, and how are you able to kind of just maintain your calm, lead the offense into field goal range, and just kind of manage all that stress and uncertainty?
It wasn't really stress. Headphones just went out first. It was the first play actually. I was just trying to get a number or whatever on the wristband. I think I was calling my own plays pretty much because I was calling the wrong numbers off the wristband, and we was just moving the ball, so it worked in our favor. To be honest, it was cool. I managed it well.
Well, this is obviously a big game. Two teams at the top, the AFC and the NFC. What do you make of all the hype and excitement around this game?
Entertainment. It's going to be a very entertaining game, like you said. Both teams number one in their division. You just got to go out there ready and focus because it's a great team.
There's some talk about this could be a Super Bowl preview. What do you think about that?
Super Bowl is in February. We're in December right now. We got to focus on Monday night. I'm not worried about what people say.
Well, Lamar, there's been very few games where so-called experts aren't picking you guys to win. You guys embrace that.
I'm cool. I want them to pick us. I like being an underdog. I don't know. I believe we play better when we're doubted and we're not. People not choosing us to win the game. I feel like we play better all the time. So just do it all the way to February. That's all I ask.
What do you think about playing on Christmas?
It's different. It's my first time. Actually, I usually be sitting home watching basketball or something on Christmas, but it's different. So it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be fun.
How do you plan to handle it on Christmas morning?
Get ready like I always do. Just to get prepared for a game. It's different because it's Christmas, but it's another game.
Now, Lamar, we've asked you before about this record against the NFC, and that how you're 19-1. I mean, do you feel that because you and this offense have such a unique style that it could be hard for the other teams to maybe adjust because they just don't see your kind of your offensive style, very much throughout the league?
I don't know. I can't tell you how they feel about playing against us. I'm not in their locker room. Hopefully our style just keep working for us. If anything.
Lamar, what satisfaction do you get out of, we saw Dwayne Smoot show his frustration not being able to get to you. We've seen other pass rushers like Myles Garrett do it as well. I mean, what do you say in those moments when you see the frustration on those guys' face?
I really don't say anything. I'm locked in the game. I'm trying to win every down. So if they frustrated, try to keep me frustrated. I'm trying to win.
Lamar, Keaton gave you guys such a shot of excitement over the last 4 to 6 weeks. To your mind, does it change anything about what you guys can do not having him, or how do you kind of look at things without him?
Man, we're gonna miss having that guy that can just take the ball from the -10 all the way to the house. At any given play. In a small window. But I believe our guys just want to step up, all across the board. Our brother went down. Things like that happen in the NFL. But we still got a level head, level heart. We still got a long season left to play.
Lamar, the expectation is Justice Hill will have an elevated role. Consider he's one of the guys. Are you confident that any of those issues you guys had, the mesh point and all that, are solved and that's just a thing of the past with him?
I believe this is a thing in the past. You know, Justice been playing his butt off. You know, he's been making things happen. You know, whenever he's in, he's getting 5-6 yards a carry. So I believe that's going to be good for us.
Well, how would you describe the focus of the team going into this year in the middle of a tough stretch and big game like we're talking about? How do you describe the focus of this team?
We locked in. Like I said, we locked in. I believe we just had a great practice today. Our guys is not peeking ahead. You know, we still focusing on keeping it one game at a time. You know, and that's what we're doing right now.
Can you talk about the trust that you've built with Isaiah Likely and he's built with you, and to go up and make a play like you did in Jacksonville, that leaping catch, what does that do for your confidence that he can make more of those plays?
I've been confident and Likely since last year. You know, things like that just happen sometimes. Got to make something happen. And he went up and made a spectacular catch over 2 defenders. I just had to give him a chance, you know. And today he tried to do it. It didn't work out. So I told him my linebacker locked him up, but he wanted to catch the ball over a corner in the game. So I guess he's a gamer, not a practice guy.
On Monday, Harbaugh talked about how this team has been really good at sort of taking on whatever problem is presented in a given week. Do you feel that about this team, that this has been kind of a good problem-solving team?
That we need to.
Harbaugh on Monday sort of said this team has been really good at doing what it needs to do to win in a given week, sort of dealing with the problem that's presented each week. Do you feel like that's a characteristic of this team?
I don't be seeing us have like problems 1 or 2 weeks though. So
I mean more like the problem that's presented by whatever problem that opponent presents. Challenge. Not
challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the NFL. You know, it's gonna be a different challenge every week. Yeah, like Coach said, pick it back off Coach. Yeah, we got great guys who's locked in and who's willing to do their thing. You know, our guys gonna step up for every opponent, any opponent. But Monday night we got the 49ers.
All right.
The week is going to be on Monday Night Football. The whole world's watching, so not a better show to put on from the world.
How unique are they in this offense, the weapons they present?
Yeah, I think they have a lot of weapons and has a really good distributor in Purdy who can get it out to those guys. But McCaffrey, his work speaks for itself. You got Samuel out there. You have a really good offensive line as well, headed by Big Trent on the outside and Kittle at tight end. So the guys definitely have a lot of weapons, but so do we. I feel like I like our team versus any team, you know? And that's my confidence each and every week. And I have the utmost respect in our guys, and I know the way we prepare. So I'm betting on us if you care to hear.
Kyle said you're a lot more likely to criticize him than praise him, but at the same time, how important do you think his versatility has been to what you guys do against these kinds of opponents?
Absolutely, man. I have the utmost respect for him, but you can't tell him every time, you know. Have to keep the young guy kind of going and at base in a sense. But man, the guy, the way he prepares week in and week out, the type of questions he asks, you would never think he's a second-year player, and just how versatile he is, able to do so much. Whether you want him at safety, nickel, on the end line of scrimmage, whatever the case may be, he can do it all. So I'm happy he's a part of my team, and Mike definitely use him in a lot of different ways.
The way you guys play defense that gives you the confidence that you guys can stop that offense.
There's no question about it. Can we stop an offense? I think we've proven that over and over throughout the season. I'm not sure what ball anyone's been watching, but if you've been watching the Baltimore Ravens defense, then people know there's games here and there. But I have the utmost respect in the way we prepare. Start from up top with Mike, the way he get things down, dumb things down to us, and make it very simple in a sense. And knowing how teams are going to attack us in a sense, and knowing how we're going to attack our opponents. So it's just about that, and it's all get back to the fundamentals. And we stick to our fundamentals, do what we have to do, because what it is a game of football. You can only run the ball or throw the ball. There's not too many things you can do. So you just make it simple like that, and we're not looking at this game like any other game. It's the next game on the schedule.
Hamilton said that the 11-3 teams are not equal. Is that something that you would agree with?
What did he mean? I'm not sure what he mean by that, so I'm not going to make a comment because I'm not sure.
You've been on the other side where you actually had to play Lamar. And do you feel like for defenses that don't see him regularly, there's sort of an adjustment period because this offense and him, they're so unique?
I've never played against Lamar, honestly, but I think Lamar is definitely a unique talent, and he's able to do things that not many quarterbacks and not quarterbacks at all are able to do. If you just watch the game week in and week out, the things that God do, not other people are doing. Like sometimes the stats may not say that, but if you actually watch the game and know the game of football, the impact that he has on the game, is second to none, and I have utmost respect for him leading our team, and I'm happy that he's on my team.
So there's a lot of questions that we'll ask you a lot of questions about.
I'm sorry,
Just you've got a lot of questions here just about underdog, two of the best teams in the league, and the hype around this game. Does any of that kind of serve as motivation?
Honestly, man, it's the next game on the schedule. It's the 49ers versus the Baltimore Ravens, and I play for the Baltimore Ravens, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll, led by John Harbaugh.
Since you're playing on Christmas, what's your Christmas wish list?
My Christmas wish list is to go out, play Baltimore Ravens style of defense, and put on a show in front of the world.
All right, thank you, real quick. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes and no. I think internally we don't feel that way. Externally, I don't know what it is, but whether it's the lack of primetime games we've got or whatever, but I think the 11-3s are not created equal right now in terms of the 49ers versus us, and we feel a little disrespected by that. I feel like we are the best team in the league, and we've got an opportunity in front of the country to show it.
At the same time, is there a feeling, I mean, you look at the playmakers they have, is there a feeling that they could make you look bad if you're not on point with everything you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's that feeling every game, though. I mean, there's playmakers all around the league on every team, and it doesn't matter who you play with, it's 49ers, whoever else. If you're not executing the right way, then you're going to look bad, especially at the DB position. In terms of communication and being in the right place, the right time, and being over the top. That's why I think it just really comes down to us executing, being in our place and where we're supposed to be, and at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to.
Kyle, when you look at the guys that they do have on offense, specifically guys like McCaffrey, Kittle, and Debo Samuel, do you feel like this type of matchup against this team is where your total skill set can kind of be put on full display?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of take that mindset in every game, just trying to exert my best in what we're doing, where the game plan is shifting from one side to another. But at the same time, I feel like it's an opportunity for everybody on defense to really showcase what we're about against a great offense. Props to those guys over there, the playmakers all over the field, solid front line, and I think we're just the guys to go handle it. But at the same time, we got to be locked in, good with preparation, going out there, travel time, all that taken into consideration. But it's really all just distractions at the end of the day. And I think we're going to go out there and do what we do.
How's Indy feeling? Good?
Yeah.
No problems at all?
All good.
Do you like that you're asked to do so many different things in the course of the game? Like, does it make it more engaging and entertaining in a way that you might be a completely different player on one series than another?
It's a little tiring at times, but and mentally and physically. But I think it's I said this earlier. It's just I appreciate the coaches for putting that trust in my hands and allowing me to do separate things and coaching me to the level where I can do them both well. And I feel like it just goes to a tribute to our staff, how good they've been the whole season, and how top to bottom, offense, defense, and defensively, D-line, the backers, DBs, everybody's just on one accord, and it's been kind of like perfect harmony.
Kyle, a lot of people are talking about this could possibly be a Super Bowl preview. There's a lot of hype around this game. As players playing in this game, do you feel, is there a different vibe different feeling about this game so far?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can't ignore it. It's two great teams going at it on Monday night, and we're on Christmas Day. It's kind of the biggest it gets, but we got to be where our feet are, and that's Wednesday meetings right now. And can't look forward to the game right now because we want to prepare ourselves the correct way. But I think we all know what's up, but I think at the same time we just gotta go and play a game.
You guys have faced a lot of good running backs this year. Is Christian McCaffrey a different level of challenge, and what do you see from him that really stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best in our league, and for good reason. He's very versed at a lot of different things that you can do. He's good in pass pro. He's good catching the ball, obviously. He's good running the ball as well, obviously. But, he presents a lot of challenges, and he's been doing it for a long time, so respect to him. But I feel like on our side, we got a good plan, try to slow him down, and I think if we execute, we'll be good.
Now, with the way that you played this year, your profile is certainly been raised, whether it's Pro Bowl voting or Chris Collins spent a good amount of time in broadcast talking about the season that you're having. What do those things mean to you? How significant is it to get that type of recognition on you?
I would say it's cool, just cool. I think it's pretty cool, honestly, at the end of the day. Growing up, watching the NFL, you always see these guys who are doing well around the league, and I've always wanted to be that, and to this point now, I feel like I've done pretty well this year, but I feel like there's still a lot I can improve on, and a lot that I want to get better at, and I don't feel like I personally have had, let's say, a satisfactory year. I've had a good year, but I feel like I hold myself to a high standard, and I have a lot more getting better to do. That's why it's just cool.
Roquan called you a bleeping warrior after the game on Sunday. Is that a meaningful thing to hear from a guy who is as ferocious a player as he is, I guess?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he's always giving me a hard time around the building, so to hear a pat on the back feels good, but at the same time, I know for that one comment, one good comment, I'm going to have 100 bad ones, so I take it in stride, and it is what it is, but I appreciate him for it.
What does he give you a hard time about?
Literally everything. I could breathe the wrong way, and he'll make fun of me.
Follow up on Child's question about all the things that you do on this defense. I think in the past couple of weeks we've seen you do things like drop into that Tampa 2 spot, kind of covering the guy up the seam. Is that something you'd ever done in your career? And I guess how did that specific role kind of come to you and the coaches and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think at Notre Dame I played it a little bit, not a ton, mostly just on third downs. So I was probably playing nickel. If we played 60 snaps, I'd play it probably 8 times a game. But now, I mean, the way our roster was set up last year, we had Chuck, obviously, who was a great player at the safety position. We had Marcus as well, and I feel like the nickel spot was kind of there, and we had injuries going down. We had Kyle Fuller go down, and Pepe got hurt, and I feel like they were kind of just looking for a spot for me to fill in that I believed I could do, and tried it out, and we're here now. So, I mean, it worked out.
Can't really put too much energy towards it. I'm just taking it one day at a time, making sure taking care of my body and just executing the game plan against those guys. They're a pretty good team. Everybody knows that. They're 11-3, we're 11-3. So, just focusing and just like executing the game plan in practice more than anything. That's more on the back end of my mind, honestly.
Justin, there's clearly a lot of hype around this game. 2 of the best teams in the league, Christmas Day, Monday football, Super Bowl preview, all that stuff. How do you, in the locker room, view all of that and approach it?
For me, I just see it as just another game. You can hype it up and make it more than it is. But really, it's just at the end of the day, you're lining up, putting pads on, playing football, just like the last week. At the end of the game, you're just trying to win the game. That's just the main priority. So, for me, I'm just taking it one day at a time and just executing the practice, taking care of your body, just flying out there, being safe, and just win the game at the end of the day.
Knowing the part of the season we're in, where both teams have put themselves and what they can do offensively, is this the greatest challenge you've seen so far from the offense?
I would say so. They have a lot of talented guys on that team, offense and defense. It's going to be a great challenge for us. And Christmas Day, I mean, what more can you ask for? As a competitor, you want to play against the best. And, right now, everybody's talking about them being the best, so we'll see.
I've asked a couple people this playing on Christmas. What's your Christmas wish list?
To get a win against those guys, definitely. That would be the best present, But, it's about playing with your guys, not playing with your mouth. So.
It seems like you guys kind of relish the opportunity to go up against really talented offense and have to see where you stack up.
What was the question?
It seems like you guys kind of relish going up against a really talented offense, and you feel like this is a chance to see how you stack up against one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that challenge. I love playing against guys that are really, really good because when you are a competitor at heart, you definitely want to get those challenges and see how you stack up against them. So it's definitely something that us as competitors looking forward to.
What's your thoughts of Brock Purdy?
Purdy's like the MVP front runner or whatever, but I know my real MVP front runner is in this locker room here. And everybody knows who that is. But at the end of the day, he's a good quarterback. He has a good team. He's doing good things on film. But he hasn't seen us yet, so we'll see you on Christmas. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Rashad, just want to start off kind of where you are this season, how you're feeling. I know you have that mindset, take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. How has that kind of gotten you through this season so far?
I definitely think it's gotten me a long way. Going through what I have going through, that's just a lot of things to deal with football and to deal with,
just taking it one day at a time. Coach Taggart used to tell me, just last, and it's like just taking it one day at a time. Taking care of my body, making sure I'm doing all the right things. And I think it's really
And that kind of spawned from the challenges that you've been through, just shifting the mindset.
Yeah, for sure. Just changing my mindset. Because I was kind of forced to.
Yeah.
But it was a good thing for me. I learned a lot, changed a lot.
So third season, and I heard you say in an interview, like your personal goal is just to be happy. So season's not over yet, so we'll check back in on that at the end of the season. But do you feel like you're starting to get that joy back though?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm getting the joy back. It was tough for a while. Still have some ups and down days. I feel like, but I think that's just because I'm hungry. Game of football, I used to for so long, and just eager for a lot of things. So I'm just excited for what's to come.
And how did you feel? So after the Jacksonville game, it looked like there was a lot of emotion coming from you. Not, positive emotion though.
Yeah.
Was there something about that game in particular? Like, what was it? Was it the playoff? The Ravens locked in the playoffs, or just something else?
Yeah, I was close to home. My mom, my family's there. Well, they come to a lot of games, but I was only 2 hours from my hometown. I had a lot of hometown people that was at the game. I had a couple of big catches in the game. We clinched the playoffs. I hadn't been to the playoffs, since I've been in the NFL.
Right.
Last year I was good, so it was just a lot. The team was excited. We're healthy. We're on the right track. And I think to be on an 11-3 NFL team is hard to come by.
Absolutely.
And in the past 2 years, we haven't been close to that. So it's just an exciting feeling.
Well, you spoke about your mom, so I want to kind of circle back to there because I saw a picture that you posted on Instagram, hugging your mom. That's normal. We see that all the time, but it just looked like so much peace in that photo. Not that she was just your rock, but almost like you're her rock too. So talk a bit about your relationship with your mom.
My mom is definitely my best friend. What I came to find out in this world is that's the one person that's gonna love me regardless, of what goes on in my life. And, we've been through a lot from my childhood, and as I continue to get older. She lost her mom. My grandma this past year. We've definitely been in each other's rock since I've been alive. I'm the baby of the boys, so everybody knows I know. So I definitely got a lot of love for them.
Okay, so I read that right.
Yeah, you did.
All right, okay. So let's shift back to football then. Todd Monken's offense, new offense. What's it been like adjusting to that? And also, I just want to say really quick, when Todd talks to us, he talks a lot about how this offense hasn't really reached its potential. So talk about that.
I definitely think we've had our moments, and I think the difference is we're just more open as an offense. The ball is just splattered everywhere across the field, wherever we can get it to be successful. And I think that's why we haven't been in offense, because we still got to click we're looking to click every single play. And with the weapons we have, we can do that. Like I said, we've had our moments of good games, bad games, but I think now as the season runs down, it's just time to put it all together.
Yeah, it's kind of scary going into the playoffs since y'all haven't reached your potential yet. But what about you? Do you feel like you haven't even reached that second gear that you can reach?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not going to say too much, but I still got a lot to show. And in due time, it'll happen.
In due time, I like that. All right, in due time. Okay, so I want to shift gears just a little bit for football. No, actually, before I do that, I want to talk about the receiving corps. Just the brotherhood that I feel like I've witnessed, because a lot of the guys, Nelson, Odell, Zay, they're new, but it feels like you all have kind of just come together pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, I think everybody's personalities kind of just match up, and I think that we just have a very selfless room. And Nelson and Odell has been very good leaders for us in that role. They're both like uncles to us, they got the experience.
You should say uncle.
Yeah, they're like uncles, but they still got that young vibe. We go out and have fun and stuff like that. So being able to come to work every day and being able to relate to somebody and connect like that. It makes it easy for everyone. And it's not just in the receiver room, it's really every single position. You see the offense support the defense, the defense support the offense, special teams, all that. So it hasn't been like this since I've been here. And I definitely think that's a lot of credit to our success right now.
Is that what, because you said it and then a lot of the other guys have called this team special, is that what makes this team so special this season, or is there something else as well?
Yes, I think that is definitely what makes this team special. You know, football is one thing, but the people, I thrive off relationships and vibes and energy, and this year it's definitely been changing, and I think the guys that have been here definitely noticed the differences.
So the vibes are vibing this year.
The vibes are vibing.
The vibes are vibing. Okay. Well, let me just transition into more of a getting to know you question. So like you said, you're from the South, Georgia boy, I believe. Georgia boy. Okay. Country boy, yeah. Florida girl, country girl, yeah. So I feel you. Now, when you're somewhere else, there's always, like, when you go home, there are those things that you have to have, I think. So don't judge me, but I'll tell you. So when I go home, it's garlic crabs, hot boiled peanuts. All my stuff has to do with food. Hot boiled peanuts, sweet tea. I feel like
sweet tea for sure.
Nobody makes sweet tea like in the South, right? And then my last one's Zaxby's. That's like my first stop.
I was just going to say, there's your answer right there.
Oh, that's it?
That's what I
Okay.
had. That's what when I took a picture with my mom, that's what I was.
Oh, you was at Zaxby's? Listen.
I haven't had it in so long, so like I had to get it, and I even DoorDash like right before the game.
For real? Yeah, that's that's like my first stop.
Yeah.
Airport, Zaxby's.
Yeah, I have to get Zaxby's.
Okay, all right.
And it's not really up here. And when I'm in the off season, I'm in Arizona, so it's
not.
nowhere else.
But I will tell you, there is one, but you got to be over there in Chantilly, Virginia. One,
I actually think that I've been to one that's like it's live, but it was kind of far, so I really haven't I ain't been in it.
Like I know it's there, but I'm not really over there like that. So it don't.
It don't.
It don't. That's it don't.
It's a southern thing, and
exactly.
They're not really whipping it up correctly. So the best place to get it is down south.
Down south. That's the same thing I say about sweet tea. I'm like, it's not the same up here. I don't care what nobody says.
Not the same.
So okay, so I got my answer on that. We on the same page. Last question: it's Christmas, holidays. So I'm gonna ask you if there's one store, because I also know you're into fashion. If there's one store you can get all your Christmas presents from, what would it be?
If I can get all my Christmas presents from
one store.
I would get everybody Balenciaga.
Balenciaga. Okay. All right. Well, add me to that list now, Rashad. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You know, it's a big game for sure. But you prepare the same. Go about the game plan the same. Just try to stay true to what we've been doing all year. There's nothing that we gotta switch up and change up. We just gotta prepare like we always do, and go out there and execute.
We haven't been underdogs very often, but you are in this game. Is that a motivating factor? How do you view that if you're viewed as the underdog in this game?
Man, we don't even listen to it. It's being an underdog. That's somebody's opinion. You know what I mean? So we don't really listen to the noise. We just got to go out there and do what we do.
Speaking of opinions, you hear so much about Brock Purdy, perceptions as far as the talent around him and what he does as a quarterback. What stands out to you as far as what's made him so good fitting into that offense that does have so much talent?
He's a pretty good quarterback. Smart quarterback. Got all the pieces around him. So that makes his job a little easier. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's a big part of their offense. We know that. So we'll have a game.
How do you view this matchup and all the hype and excitement around it?
Yeah, really good team. I haven't. We obviously didn't start watching until this week, but they've been beating a lot of teams pretty bad. So I think it'll be probably the game of the year. I'm excited to be a part of it. They're really good. So I know we're a good team, so it'll be a good matchup.
Marlon, how important is communication going to be in this game? You see so many times watching Niners games, have some of their premier players running wide open a couple of times. How important is it going to be for you guys to communicate pre-snap?
That'll be huge. I think, not only do they have, great players, they have, it seems like just a lot of different schemes and different things schemed up against players, schemed up against coverages. They do a lot. They really don't do that much, but they're just so efficient at what they do. The misdirection, it's like you want to take care of McCaffrey. Right now, it's just really good to have a really good challenge Monday. On Christmas Day, it's a really good team, so we're just really excited for that.
How do you handle Christmas and everything that goes on around it?
Honestly, this year's weird. It doesn't really, haven't really got the Christmas vibes like normal. We did get a gift from Harb's early Christmas Eve. We got a pinball machine, so that's the gift. I don't know if my family got me any gifts. I told my lady I don't need a gift, so I'm not too much in the Christmas spirit. But if a win would be the best gift I can get. So hopefully we get the win and it'll be a good Christmas.
What do you think of the pinball machine?
I'm liking the pinball machine. It's a very high tech. Harb's actually brought it up in the team meeting. Some guys did not know what a pinball machine was. So I'm not that old, but I knew that. But I guess I am old based on some of the younger guys did not know that. So that's that.
You guys, the second time in a week that you were on underdog this year. How do you take that as, when you're not considered a favorite going into a game?
Yeah, I usually don't really see what we are, but I did see this one. I think we're like a touchdown. Like what are we?
Almost 5.5.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that. That kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. So I was surprised to see that, but I definitely want to make that be incorrect for sure, and hopefully some people lose some money betting with them and make some money betting with us. So that'd be great.
Marlon, what are your thoughts on Brock Purdy, watching him on film? They have, like you mentioned earlier, they're an efficient offense with him at the quarterback league.
Yeah, it seems like he gets a lot of, oddly, it seems like he gets a lot of like hate from the stuff that I see. I don't know why. Like, it's just because he's got Brennan, Ayuk, it's because he's got Debo, he's got Chris McCaffrey. When you cut on the film, he's just really a good quarterback. I think that kind of surprised me. Just I'm hearing so much chatter about the guys around him make him good and the coaches and everything. But when you look at the film, he's putting throws right where they need to be. He's reading coverages. He does a lot of good things. So I think he's a guy that likes to give his receivers a chance. And for such a young guy, he really handles himself really like a pro. So I know it won't be an easy day. It won't be too many, gimme interceptions like that. But we'll try to take our chances when we can.
All right, thank you, Mark. Defensive front. What kind of stands out to you about it?
Yeah, they're very good. Play the game the right way, play it hard, disruptive. Certainly going to be a big challenge for us. It starts this week with our preparation to get prepared for these guys.
How do you handle silent count stuff in practice and what's your approach there?
Yeah, we're going to do silent count all year. Obviously I assume it's going to be loud Monday Night Football, but you practice it during the week, work out any kinks, and then go out there and perform on Monday.
You guys have the best record on the road of anyone in the NFL. It's 6-1. Obviously, it's just part of being a really good team. But what do you think has made you play so well on the road?
Yeah, I think on the road, it starts with the communication. Trying to be as efficient as possible with communicating, because it's going to be loud. That's an emphasis here. Is just over communicate, and then when the lights are on, try to play your best. I think that's what the guys we have on this team go out there and try to do.
Is there any special feeling about going into a game as the underdog, the odds-on underdog? And is that something that you guys are talking about this week?
I feel like every week we got to go out there and prove it. No matter who we're playing, we're gonna get a team's best shot. We got competitors in the building. Anytime we're underdog, certainly gives you motivation. But I think each and every week, you're going out there and playing as hard as you possibly can. So. Whatever other people say, it doesn't really matter to us in here. It's just about going out there and performing.
Do you guys want to kind of ride the excitement of the number one teams in each conference matching up, the game everybody's going to be watching on Christmas night, all that stuff, or do you want to kind of just treat it like another week?
Yeah, both of these teams have put ourselves in these situations to where it's talked about a lot. It starts at the beginning of the year, fall camp. You work for these kind of moments, these kind of games. So. As a competitor, it's certainly exciting, but also at the end of the day, it's two great teams going against each other, and you can't get into the hype too much. You just got to go out there and perform your best. But certainly excited.
As you're preparing for the Niners, how beneficial is it for you to go up against your own defense every day?
Yeah, we have a lot of dudes on the defense that certainly help us. And that started going against some OTAs camp. Giving us a lot of challenges that prepare us for defenses like this. The offense certainly excited, for the opportunity, but like I said earlier, it starts this week with our preparation, because this defense, it's a really good defense, one of the top defenses in the league, so we're going to have to come ready to play.
Tyler, you've talked a lot about, you mentioned fall camp and OTAs and all the work that you put in. Where do you see this offense and maybe yourself as well has grown from all of that hard work to where you are now?
Yeah, it's definitely grown. But the good thing is we're not where we want to be yet. But we're definitely taking big strides, and obviously that comes with having a new offensive coordinator, just everyone learning the terminology, learning the schemes and stuff like that, and then continue to get better and better. And when we play with each other more and more, I think you see more and more growth, which is a good thing.
Tyler, I know you guys are working to block out the hype, but have you heard from friends and family who told you that they're going to be watching you guys on Monday night because this is such a big game?
None of my friends or family. I'm sure they're going to be watching it, but no one's reached out to me. No, it's going to be, like I said, it's Christmas night. Everyone's going to be watching, but it's exciting. The good thing is we've put ourselves in this situation to where people are talking about it, but it doesn't mean a whole lot. We got to go out there and perform.
Tyler, John Simpson is someone that at the beginning of the season when he was named a starter at left guard, he had said that he didn't really have a lot of confidence. How much has he grown from then up until where he is now?
Yeah, John's grown a lot, especially in the confidence. He's continuing to get better and better, and he's an awesome guy to play next to. Just the things he's able to do, he helps this team out a lot, especially the O-line. But yeah, John's a guy just continuing to get better. Playing with that confidence, because that's a lot of what the position is, just playing with confidence, and he has certainly done that.
Well, the 49ers have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. What do you feel it's going to take for you guys? I mean, you have one of the best run offenses in the NFL. What do you think it's going to take to be able to get those yards against this defense?
Yeah, I think a lot goes into it. Just keep sustaining the blocks. Try to get a lead early. Build that confidence in the coaches to.
Todd, how excited are you for this challenge, your offense going up against a pretty good Niners defense?
Yeah, they're really good. It's a heck of a challenge, but it feels that way every week. Every week I feel like when you coach, when you play at this level, it's the ultimate challenge against the best coaches and the best players in the world. So I think our guys are excited.
I know you didn't want to lose Keaton Mitchell, but being able to bring up Melvin Gordon, what can he bring beyond just experience to add, potentially a new wrinkle to your offense?
I think if you go beyond experience, it's first of all, he's made plays for us. I mean, the Browns game, we had a huge third down that, that he converted, that, and then obviously he had a big run early in the game. So over his career, he's made plays. He's been a powerful downhill runner, and he does show flashes in the pass game. So we're excited. That's one advantage of, last time I was in the NFL, like a guy like Melvin Gordon you couldn't have on practice squad. Who knows where he'd be? That's one of the advantages of whatever that rule, whenever it came into play, when you can have some experienced veteran guys on practice squad, be able to step in and be able to help you win games.
So I know you've obviously seen so much of Lamar kind of improvise, make plays in the run, but what have you kind of learned about him and the way he runs an offense and kind of manifests your scheme?
Expect the unexpected, I guess. Is I've said this a lot. He's highly competitive, loves football, hates to lose, is an elite player, wants to be an elite player, wants to grow as a player. He has a unique ability to see the field and a unique ability to make plays off schedule. That's just all the things you see. And so now you're just trying to, every day with we're all trying is, how do we get the ball out on time? How do we do a better job of schematically, system-wise, to not have him take some of those hits, and not put himself in that position. But he's unique, that's for sure. And it's fun to watch.
Is there anything about him that has surprised you? You obviously knew his talents. I'm just curious if there's anything that
I don't know if there's anything that's really surprised me. He's been awesome to work with.
Like I said, he's highly competitive, strong-willed, loves playing football, loves his teammates, wants to be coached, and it shows up.
Todd, how much of a worry is it that both of your starting tackles are banged up going out to face a defensive front as talented as this one?
Well, the guys have been playing all year, that way. They've been awesome. Morgan and Ronnie have battled through a lot of, bumps and bruises and nicks here and there, and they've fought through it. And we've had to deal with other fronts, and this is just another one of those challenges. They do a great job up front. They're awfully well coached, and they're very talented. So we'll have our work cut out for us, just like we did last week. I mean, both those ends were talented guys, and the week before, when you play, against any NFL team, you have to be prepared for that. So, and it's been good to get those other tackles some work. They've done a great job spelling those guys to try and help us make through the game. But hats off to all of them.
Obviously, it took a little time last week to get the wide receivers involved, it seemed, in the passing game. But that second half, when you kind of hit Jacksonville in the mouth with the power run game and some of the read option, how much of the ability to switch identities and beat teams in different ways is tied to Lamar as a player?
Oh, it's tied to your quarterback in a lot of ways. I mean, what they can do with their arm and what they can do with their legs, and then the guys you have around them, and then how the game goes. Sometimes a game goes a certain way. The week before, we had 2 different 2-minute opportunities. So we talked about that last week, where the numbers are going to be skewed in terms of throwing it, right before the half and then the end of the game against the Rams. Where last week, the game, as it went on, was more about, hey, how can we churn out yards, continue to run the clock, and give ourselves the best chance to win, and we did a good job of that. Obviously, the teams and the offenses that give themselves the best chance to be successful can do both. If you're able to run it and throw it successfully, because you're going to need both. You're going to sometime be in 2 minutes, sometime you're going to be in 4 minutes. And it's hard to control the game if you can't run the ball effectively. So sometimes the ball goes to the wide out, sometimes it goes to the back, sometimes it goes to the tight ends. It's just the way it is.
What was it like when early in that game when the communication in Lamar's helmet wasn't functioning?
I don't even know the best way to put it. So at first, you get that through the headset that Lamar can't hear you. So then it's like, all right, T, then signal to him, because that's the next line of operation. Hey, you're going to signal to him, and then making sure that he gets the signal correctly. I think one of the plays he uses an excuse because I think he just wanted to throw it. He kind of called his own number. I said, well, that's going to work out from now on. You can just say, I didn't hear you. So call whatever the hell I wanted. So, but he did a great job. Coach Martin did a great job. He did a great job. Again, making sure we were in the correct play. And then we got it switched out and we were fine. Really ended up not really being an issue.
Todd, what's it like for you when you saw Lamar extend a lot of plays in that game Sunday night? I mean, that's a weekly thing for him, but what's it like for you in the course of that play as you're watching it happen?
Well, the first thing when he extends plays, when you're throwing, is your eyes go to the skill guys that are down the field in terms of their scramble rules and how far we've worked to come when you have a 2-play quarterback. To me, we're unique. We have a 2-play quarterback. They have to defend the first play, and then they've got to defend the second play. And we've got to continue to work to be elite in terms of our scramble rules. And early on in the game, we did that. The very first drive, we had 2 scramble plays that converted. Obviously, we had another one that led to a touchdown, the one to Isaiah down the field. So, and you'll see that throughout. I mean, we were playing the Bengals, and we had a touchdown to Bateman, We had one against the Browns to Zay Flowers, the first time we played. So when you're a 2-play quarterback, as I say this all the time with a guy like Lamar, there isn't one pass play we're going to call more often than scramble. There isn't. I don't care. 4 verts, curl flat, 3-level routes, does not matter. There will not be a route we'll call more than our ability to handle when he gets outside the pocket in our scramble rules.
Todd, when you're meeting with John and the other staff about something like 4th down decision making, What is your kind of role in that collaborative process, and is there a level of execution that you want this offense to hit where we could see it being more aggressive in some of those situations where maybe you decide to punt?
Sure, and I think it's a great point, because as you get further into the season, when you play better teams, I shouldn't say that. First of all, that is a dumb statement. Every team in the NFL is elite, okay? But as it becomes more competitive, as it gets close and there's more on the line, you're going to have to be able to go for it on fourth down to keep the football. You're going to have to feel confident in your game planning, whether it's fourth and inches, whether it's fourth and 2 feet, a yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, to be able to keep the football and score points and keep it away from your opponent. So for sure, and we're all a part of that. Hey, how do you feel? How do you like the plan? Where we're at? What do you guys think? Coach is always in communication with us. But for sure, that is a huge, huge point.
Todd, what are you more proud of? Some consistent habit that your guys showed in a game like that, like the amount of pass rushes you win or something, or are you more proud of an individually great play like the one Marcus made at the end of the half? What kind of lasts with you longer?
I think you're always looking at how we play, and when we play the right way and our focus is in the right spot, those are the things you're proud of. How you handle situations that come up throughout the game. We can deal with all the rest. To win a game like that, you got to be great in situational football. So proud of how we recognize those situations. Obviously the play at the end of the half, but just any given third down, red zone, every play in and of itself is a different situation. So, those ended up being in our favor and helped us win the football game.
When you have to plan for a team with as many elite playmakers as this one, is it more invigorating to try to sort of figure out what to do, or is it more anxiety-inducing?
And it sounds weird. They're all the same. I mean, it's every team presents challenges because it's the NFL and everybody's really, really good. As we know, these guys are really, really good. So different challenges than you normally see on a week-to-week basis. Yeah, absolutely. But the approach is the same.
How unique is Christian McCaffrey in this league?
Well, I mean, he's obviously a great player, and I think the way that they use him is a little bit different than how conventional running backs are being used, because a lot of times he's playing a receiver role for them. So he's part-time receiver, part-time running back, lead blocker. So the way they're able to make those guys interchangeable parts is impressive.
Mike, what we've seen at times, this is an offense that has had guys, some of those premier guys you mentioned, running wide open. I saw a couple times against the Cardinals that was the case. What do you see when you watch them schematically as to why they're able to get some of those guys into situations where nobody's near them?
Well, there's a few things. One, sometimes there's extended plays where they're running away from people that had matched them. The quarterback does a good job of finding them, and they got good chemistry late in the down, so that's one thing. I'd say on the other hand, diagnosing what defense you're in and having certain route concepts that put stress on it, on those coverages, that's another one. And then just the way they operate through their progressions and running away from leverages and things like that. And everyone's on tune with the windows they're trying to hit and the spots on the field can sometimes seem like guys are consistently open. So they got a great scheme, obviously really well coached, and the guys are executing at a high level.
Mike, you were just identifying some things that San Francisco does with their quarterback. I mean, people are talking about Brock Purdy as a game manager in sort of a pejorative sense. But is there something about what you've seen on film that you think that sort of complements what the offense is trying to accomplish in San Francisco?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into all that. He's a great player, man. He's a great player. I mean, he's a great quarterback. Is in charge of what they're doing on offense, fully in control, as all the great quarterbacks are. So I'd put him up there with all the great quarterbacks.
Mike, everything that they do before the snap is obviously kind of a headache to deal with. How does that kind of interplay with like how narrow of a formation relative to a lot of other NFL offenses are? Does it just kind of create more traffic for you guys as you're trying to, handle coverage distributions and get off run blocks and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of the formations are condensed. So, how you count and who you relate to and things like that, definitely testing your eye discipline, definitely testing your communication, which is obviously one of the reasons that they do it. changing the run fits. I mean, there's every play, every motion really should have a rhyme or reason on why they're doing it based on what they're trying to achieve. You just don't know in real time until after the play. So, but yeah, having the condensed formations make it easier because the numbers change faster, rather than being spread out. You have longer time to react.
Like, when we talked to Chris Hewitt a few weeks ago, he said, that you guys try to lie to the quarterback as much as possible. Was there someone or some game, some team or whatever that was kind of, seminal for you in teaching you that was of utmost importance in pass coverage in the secondary? Was it something you got from Wink or what?
What read for that one, Jonas? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think you're trying. I think it came from, like I said, actually my introductory press conference asked about aggressiveness. You're trying to be, trying to put pressure on the defense. That's or on the offense, excuse me. And that's something that's seminal to hear. That's a Raven principle on how we want to operate. And I think the way you see that the game has evolved, being so pass heavy, especially in critical situations, and the offenses are so good, the quarterbacks are so good. How do you consistently put pressure on them to make them make great decisions in real time? I think that's kind of what the thought process was.
San Francisco, I know, but you got any plans to still do anything with the family?
Yeah, the way the schedule is set up for us, we'll get an opportunity to be at home with our families one day before we leave on Saturday. So just looking forward to that. It's that time of year just to be at home with the family. And then, my wife understands, we got to go take care of business and then spend time out west with the other family, the football family. So just looking forward to that and really just focus on the game.
You've had a lot of the guys like Gunner, you've had to use a lot of those guys for injury. Has that almost been beneficial this late in the year because you have guys who have done it, you have guys who are ready to jump in case of injury and all that?
Of course, Jeff. It's always good to have guys that are on your team that can play those positions where you don't really feel like you got to go ahead and start from scratch, bringing guys in and working guys out in order to fill those roles. But like I said before, man, when we get those guys due to certain situations where we can put out there, those guys go out and just perform to the level of which we expect them to play at.